right. So we're here with Craig. So Craig, let's talk about you. How did you start with real estate?
Okay, so I started my college career for electrical engineering, but as a part-time job back when I was 21, 22, I started working as an assistant for my mom at Remax, and she was selling condos and beachfront property. And I did that as a part-time job for about 9 years while I was going to school for engineering. And I started my own landscape business. And I was working for my mom when the financial collapse happened in 2008. So she could no longer afford me. Luckily, my landscape business was picking up pretty good, and I was able to move on with that. And so I got away from real estate for a little while. And then the next time I got back into real estate was on the investment side. I bought a couple properties up in Breckenridge for Airbnb rentals. And I bought some other businesses after I sold my landscape business, went back to school for engineering. And then I decided to get my real estate license because I thought I had learned a lot working for my mom all those years, and got my wife to get her license too so we could work as a team. And the main goal at that point, which was about 3 years ago, was just to make some passive income, friends and family referral type business. And within the past year, a little over a year, I switched my focus to making real estate my primary source of income. My wife still helps me out, but she has her other businesses too that she does. So she kind of supplements me if I need her for showings, open houses, and things of that nature. We're a team, but I'm pretty much the one running the show mostly. And so I do have a background in buying, selling real estate, doing it on the beach, doing it in heavy investment areas, and I have my own short-term rental Airbnb history as well.
Oh, that's pretty good. Do you want to talk a little bit about your short-term rental or where they are?
So the first two were up in Breckenridge, Colorado. I had some investor friends that I grew up with that moved out to Colorado, and that market was really hot. Anywhere, Breckenridge, Vail, Park City, all that stuff was doing really good in the mid 2000s so I think I bought that 2013, and I think within 5 years it more than doubled. So I sold both of them recently within the past year, and now I've put that money and I'm building another one in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and they've just finally passed permitting and septic, and they're clearing the ground right now. So we're projected to have a nice 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house in the mountains of Tennessee with an indoor pool, game room, and close to Dollywood and all that stuff. So for everyone that likes the mountains, I'll have a house you can rent it.
That's pretty good. And do you manage them yourself, or do you use a property manager in that case?
Property manager for sure. In fact, I'm going to interview. I'd suggest to anyone to interview at least 3 property managers. I have a good one from down here that I'll talk about, and they happen to have an office up in Gatlinburg that I'll refer to. I'm definitely going to interview them. And then my realtor up there has told me that she has a great property manager that's tied in with Marriott, and I think it's Marriott Bonavoy points that you can use on cabin rentals and things like that, not just the hotels. So it'll get you more traffic. So we're definitely going to interview with that company as well, and I'll pick one more. But definitely want to use a property manager. They vary for, areas. For instance, the one I use in Florida, 15% handle everything. But up there, sometimes they go up to 20 or 30%. Down here, they go up to 30, 40, 50%, depending on the type of resort, you're buying in. So property managers are all over the place. You want to get a good relationship with them and, talk to a few and feel who's going to take care of you the best. Is my best advice on that.
Yeah, for sure. Your property manager is one of your key points in your team, in your dream team too. And it's really good to have like a realtor that is not just a realtor. It's just like a realtor who's focused as well with like an investor mindset, which is really good. Do you think it helps you to be able to find better deal for investor?
Oh yeah, when before I even went to college, I was a day trader. I started day trading at like 17, 18 years old. So I've always been about making money and investing and finding different ways to make a dollar. And, the first thing they teach you if you study is diversify. So, real estate, stocks, art, there's all kinds of ways to invest. It's best to diversify because some things will be up, some things will be down. The one thing I wish I had bought more real estate over the years, because I did invest in a couple businesses, some friends that, needed some money to help them along. And that's probably the thing I would not go back and do again, because if you're not the one running the business yourself, you have no control over it. So if I had taken all the money I had invested in other people's, their businesses, and just bought some rental properties and just kept on with that program, I would have been a lot better. So I've definitely had an eye for money, and I've made money and I've lost money. And you learn a lot more by losing it and what not to do. So I at least have that I can teach people, like some pitfalls and some areas, some things to look out for when it comes to investing in anything, not just real estate.
Yeah, for sure. And the road cannot be just unicorn and sunshine too.
Right.
For sure. Where's the best place to invest, Greg?
Okay, so it's a two-part answer. Best place to invest. Now, if you're looking for short-term rentals, the only place you can invest is around Disney, which would be in this area. I'm circling right here. You see Celebration, Champions Gate, Lake Buena Vista. This is all Disney. So anything in this county, which is Osceola County, they allow short-term rentals. Orlando does not allow any short-term rentals. You have to do rentals for 8 months to 12 months to rent in Orlando. So all the short-term rental concentration is all in this area. So within this area is tons of communities, and some are better. There's different styles. I can't say some are better than the others. If you want a full-on resort experience that has like lazy rivers and like all kinds of like rides and things on site, to where you basically go into this neighborhood and you stay, and then you just leave to go to the theme parks, and you come back and you have all these amenities and theaters on site. Those are one type of rental, and what you get with those is more like a hotel type of booking. So, but they charge 50% property management fees because they're booking all year round and they're doing a lot more work, a lot more traffic. So they're taking a lot more. Now, most of my investing clients don't like that because there's not a lot of profit. Basically, that's a good way to invest if you come to Orlando a lot yourself and you basically want to pay for a couple trips a year down here, then that's the way to go. What I would suggest, if you actually want to make a little profit, and that's more your goal, is to put some money in your bank account, is to be in some neighborhoods. Four Corners is big, and you got neighborhoods like Solera, Solterra, Tuscan Hills, Story Lake. Those are the ones I would say would be your best money makers profit-wise. Now, when I say profit-wise and money makers, we're not talking typically 15 to 20%. That's where a lot of investors get discouraged, because people think because you're by Disney that you're just going to make a ton of money renting. But you got to understand there is a lot of competition here and people all trying to do the same thing. So your goal is to make, 10% would be a pretty good return on investment. But what people don't factor in is on top of that 10% return, you're also making an appreciation on the property. And the values have skyrocketed down here. And while a lot of other places in the country, the United States, are going down now, Florida's still coming up. In fact, our listings are dropping. So supply is decreasing and demand is staying high. So for the short-term rental answer, I would say that would be the way to go, or pretty much where you have to be in this area if that's where you want to make money. If you want higher appreciation but long-term rentals, meaning you can't rent them out nightly, but the values go up higher, then this is area right here with all these lakes. If you're looking to buy real estate and make less money on an income level, but more growth and appreciation, then you want to be in Windermere. That's where Shaq, Tiger Woods, Michael Jackson had a home. Horizon West, this is the big area where everyone's going now. Like Orlando's so crowded that Horizon West right here and over here in the Lake Nona area are the two biggest growing areas of Florida. And they're big houses and nice quality houses. So you will make your money and some if you invest in real estate there. You're just not going to be able to do short-term rentals. You'd have to do an 8 to 12-month rental and just buy it for the growth appreciation of the actual property itself. So those would be your two ways to make money.
If you come back to the, by example, Champions Gate, what's the typical house there? Is it like a mix of like condo houses and like multiplex, or what kind of property are we looking for over there?
It's everything. You can get anything from a condo, townhouse, single family home, and your price range is going to get you. You'll be lucky if you can get something under 250,000. But the price will range from 250,000 all the way up into the over $1 million easily. And that'd be a 1-bedroom all the way up to, they got 14-bedroom houses that are made specifically for short-term rentals. A lot of people from all over the country and bring large families, reunions and stuff like that, and make Disney and the theme parks their destination.
That's pretty good. So basically, it's really to one key city that you can invest in short-term rental. There's some place for long-term rentals. For sure, long-term rental can be good as well because the eviction are pretty fast in Florida, which is a good thing for sure. Yeah. Now, let's talk about the bad neighborhood. Where are we looking?
Where you don't want to be is this area, pretty much. So this is downtown Orlando, and you got your high rises and stuff like that. But the condo fees are ridiculous, so there's not a lot you can make there. But everything around downtown, like this whole area, is no good. You're close to downtown, you're close to this stuff, but that's not where you really want to be. It's the best way I could say it.
So you're not bringing your grandma over there overnight?
No, yeah, definitely, yeah. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there late at night. It's just, for real estate, for the purposes that we're talking about, it's not going to. Okay, well, I'll take that back. If you want to be there, if you're a house flipper, now if that's your game and you want to do rehabs and fix up properties, then I would say you can find some deals in there. And then you can fix them up pretty cheap, $20,000, $30,000 minimum fix up. And, you could probably make a good 20, 30% profit. But you're working in bad areas and, bad things happen. But, there is money to be made. But it's not safe. It's not as safe.
Do you know the market rank for those places? How much is it usually for market range?
You mean the prices in these areas?
Well, the rent for those bad neighborhood what we're looking for.
Our rents have gone sky high. So even in the worst areas, you're going to pay $1,500 to $2,500 a month. If you're in a 3-bedroom, you're going to pay at least $2,000, even in some of the worst areas. So that's where a good return on investment is too. If you don't want to do the short-term rental down here, and you don't mind going to knock on a door to collect a monthly check, if you screen your renters right, you could buy a house cheap, fix it up cheap. You could probably make a good 30% return on equity, just in equity, and then you could rent it out and probably make, 15% to 20% a year return just on the rent. You're dealing with people with poorer credit and stuff like that, like I said. But if you're willing to do that, or if you have someone that will go collect the checks for you if they're not paying, and it takes about, from beginning to end, it's usually about 75 days to evict someone if you had to. So Florida protects, landlords pretty well once you get the ball rolling on that kind of thing. So it's not a bad idea. Me personally, me and my friends, we look to buy like cheap places and fix them up, and you can make $30,000 pretty quick, in 2 months if you find the right deal, off market, type of deal like I find sometimes.
Yeah, but you need to have a good property manager to know the area pretty well.
Yeah,
Otherwise, this flip can go for a flop for sure easily.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for an out of state, out of country. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend that for someone unless they had a property manager that was, aggressive and wanted to do that. That's more for people that are local. I would recommend that can watch their investment and check up on it more regularly. But it's not out of the realm of possibility.
And yeah, for sure. And can you talk a bit about the current situation of the market in Florida? Is it a good place to invest? Is it a bad place to invest? Should I invest like all my money in Bitcoins? What should I do?
Well, no to the last question. I would definitely say no to that. Unless you like to live dangerously, like I do. No, Florida's a great place to invest. At least for the time being. The projections for Florida over the next 5 years are like 300,000 new people a year coming. That's a lot of people. And right now, the current housing developments aren't building at a fast enough pace. They're not projected to build at a fast enough pace. So ever since COVID came, a lot of people, and since people haven't had to go to office to work and can work remotely more, Florida has received a ton of people, an influx of new people. Because we don't have any state income taxes. We're one of 11 states in the country that don't have income taxes. And the price and cost of living down here is really low. Now, 10 years from now, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case because everybody's coming. A lot of corporations are coming. They're seeing like the flow of people here. And property prices have been going up and they're still going to go up. So I would say, for the next 5 years, you'll be good. 10 years from now, prices in Florida, who knows? It could be the price of California or something like that. The rents are already going up sky high. There's just not enough people building to sustain what's coming. So buying, short-term rental type thing is a good plan. The interest rates are the only thing that are holding it back from it being even crazier. Interest rates have gone up, but we're still seeing our supply of inventory drop, So
Yeah, for sure. And for people that do short-term rental, I think Disney World closed for, I don't know, like a week or something like that. That was like the first time they closed for like for a
right.
long time. So
Yep.
you're always gonna get some business there.
Yeah, and Disney's got a whole new over in the Lake Nona area. Disney is building a whole new facility. I can't remember what it's for, but it's like bringing like 35,000 people. It's gonna blow up this whole area too, which is real farmlandy. St. Cloud, Lake Nona is already becoming very ritzy and posh. So it's just going to expand out from here, all down here and stuff like that. Will be where new people will be moving in just to support the new Disney facility coming in.
And do you think the zoning will change because of that?
Definitely. It's going to have to. I mean, we have too many people coming that they're going to have to expand. As far as people got to live.
Yeah.
Have some place to live. So they're going to have to start building houses and stuff like that. So if you get in sooner than later, I would say it'd definitely be profitable 5-10 years from now.
Yeah, because a lot of Spanish they come to Florida, and I think Florida is like one of the best market like to have like a grow of like people coming in. It's crazy. I saw some numbers and like I think it's not first. It's like top 10 for sure.
Oh yeah, it's close to first. I know like Texas is getting a lot, Arizona's getting some, but I think Florida has like the top 3 or 4 cities out of the top 10 in the country. So yeah. That's like Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and Miami.
Yeah, no, for sure. Orlando is a pretty good city for sure if you want to invest there. If you want to do short-term rental, it's like one of the paradise compared to other city in Florida where the short-term rental is not that good. But we're gonna have other podcasts like about it.
Yeah, they have different rental restrictions and stuff like that in other cities. In Florida and Orlando is centrally located, so you got your theme parks, and then you're about equal distance to the beach on both sides. You're about a 45-minute to an hour drive. You can go to the East Coast or the West Coast. So Orlando is a good location, and because it's so far inland, we're fairly protected from any storms or any stuff like that comes through.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you mentioned the fact that it's in the middle of Florida, which is good because you're close to Tampa Bay and you're close to like the other side. I think that's the Daytona Beach or something like that.
Yep, Daytona Beach is up here, and Tampa's down here, and Disney is like right smack in the middle of them. So yeah, come out to Cocoa Beach would probably take you 45 minutes along this corridor. Take you about an hour and a half to get to Clearwater, St. Petersburg. So there's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of attractions in this area too, Legoland and stuff like that. So the Disney area is very centrally located to get somewhere where you want to be, you're close to everything.
So it's a pretty good city to invest in for the next 5 years, for sure.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
All right. So is like any big project that it's going on in Orlando that you're aware of?
Yeah. So I mentioned Disney coming, which is going to be in this area. And this is where a lot of the growth is coming. And, I'm partnered up with a guy, Pedro, which I've introduced you to. And there's a lot of like commercial investments coming in this area as well. Kissimmee, I would say he's got like a 324 unit multifamily complex that he's putting up. He's got he does hotel conversions. So he's big into like the hotel commercial multifamily game. And for investors that are more into that kind of thing, it takes a bit more capital, but the returns are a lot better and you're on the ground floor of development.
Yeah, sure. And I think it's close to a new train, so people like basically they live there kind of. It's like a small city into a city. There's like an hospital close, so you do have like really good tenants as well, and there's a lot going on. And those like big corporation, like big big investor, they do the market, so they research the best place like to invest their money. So usually it's a good thing, and like if they invest over there because they do their due diligence as well.
Right. The rate of returns are very good, 20-30+%. But you do have to be an accredited investor to be in with these type of companies. These are like joint ventures with like multi-million and billion-dollar companies. But to be an accredited investor, I think you need to have at least $1 million in net assets, not including your primary house, and or bring in over $200,000 a year in income to be a part of these kind of investments. But these are investments that do pay off and are more ground floor. They're great opportunities in the best growing areas of Orlando.
And for sure, if you want to have more information about this project, you can always ask Craig about it, and he will be able to help you out with that for sure. Or any other investment that you want to do if you want to buy a short-term rental in Florida. Craig is the man in Orlando for sure with XP. Last question. Where can people find you? Where can people reach out to you?
Well, I'm everywhere, but probably the easiest place, you can come to my Facebook personal page, my Facebook business page. It's thecolucciogroup.com. That's my wife's name, Coluccio. So it's thecolucciogroup.com. Craig Finzel on Facebook. I'm on Instagram under the Coluccio Group. I'm on Google. If you just Google Craig Finzel, you'll see me everywhere. And I think that's it. I feel like I'm on more. I'm on TikTok, but I'm not a video guy. So, but I do have a page there.
Do you do any dance on TikTok?
No, that's on my to-do list to get into that. I'm I know people that are successful with it. I'm just I'm more camera shy, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, you do have a newborn, so right now TikTok is not your priority, I think.
right. Yeah, I got a baby now, so he'll probably be the one to teach me how to do it by the time I get.
So that's it, everyone. Thanks for being on the podcast, the good, the bad, and the truth about Orlando. So if people want to reach out to you, they can go to the link in the description, and hopefully we're going to invest in Florida in the next couple of years. So thanks a lot, Craig, and see you later.
All right. Thank you.